Hello people. This is a Pilates exo chair used at a Club Pilates. And today I'm going to talk about how to replace the springs here. If you bring them in close here, you'll see that these springs are warped by previous replacement, and thereby then compromising the ability for this spring to hold weight. Okay, so to start, you're gonna need a screwdriver. Okay, you're gonna need an Allen key. We're talking 1/8. You're gonna need a square. We're talking, I believe this was a square 2, size 2. Got a ratchet set here. Got a 1/4 inch, I believe, 1/4 inch, and also you're gonna need something with a sharp edge on it to take off some parts that are hidden. Okay, so let's get started with the hidden parts. Or first, I should say, let's turn the chair into a direction that's gonna make it accessible. Okay, so we're gonna turn the chair down like so. To start, you're gonna slowly or carefully peel down under where the grip or the, what would you call that? The sticky stuff. Let's call it the sticky stuff on the chair. And you'll notice there that there's an extra square there, as well as under here. And those are the total 4 that are holding onto this cushion. Okay, so you want to make sure that the cushion comes off so that you don't have to try to finagle this under here, because those Allens are one side and then the other side is underneath. Okay, so let me get that on so that I can get started with taking these off. Okay, well,
that's right there.
There we are. Thank you, Satori. Right. Fantastic sidekick here. Okay, so to start, you just want to take those out. Okay. And once you've gotten all 4 of those out, that should allow for that foot pad to release. Okay. And here we go. I want to try to be, I personally have decided not to use power tools on this so as to not overstrip any of the grooving, tension, rivets that have been created in this beautiful machine. Now, my first time taking this out, looking for this information, I didn't find, I took these all the way out, but this time around I'm going to try to do it without taking them completely out, and we'll see, now that I know the length that they are. Okay, it's a good little workout there, and that should ideally be enough, well, to be able to at least take a peek, and then you can see that it needs a little bit more to get out. Whew, it's a lot of work turning. And then my second go at
properly repairing one of these, I think taking these all the way out doesn't harm anything. But for the sake of trying something a little bit different, see if I can get those pinpointed out and still in. There we are. And there we are. So once that's taken off, this is where you then have the clearance to freely take these four out, excuse me, which I'm just gonna do that with the screwdriver here and that Allen, okay? So you wanna take those four out. Okay. And those, you probably want to take all, you are going to need to take all the way out. In my first go, I took out just the tops. And perhaps I'll just take out just the tops and loosen the other ones like I did before. Okay. And then that should allow for this to come out nicely there. Okay. Keep those bolts nearby, and that should allow that spring to come out nicely there. So that was the attempted way of doing it the first time. And of course, the right way would be to take this all the way out and put it there. But we're not going to use those because those springs are compromised. And so, grab my new ones. Two new ones here from Balance Body. Okay, and we're gonna replace those two new ones. All right, I'm just gonna seed that in there. On the bottom half first, just a little bit. And the other one that came out here in the bottom half, just a little bit. Okay, it should allow for me to properly allow for these springs to be set in. There's one. Put that all the way down. You want to get those nice and tight, okay? But the most important part is remembering not to cheat the process to compromise the integrity of this loop on the spring, hence taking the time to take off the pad, to have access to here, to then be able to put the pad back on. And then in putting the pad back on, the most important part, being sure that you line up your screws and your holes so as to not make extra holes, unnecessary holes in your pad. Okay, once those are down, nice and snug. Okay, give them all a couple extra turns. Okay, and we've got those set. Set those down. And now we're ready to line up our holes here. Okay, and look of it, as you can see, looks like they had them set up to where they were going to either way, either turn. But I'm going to use these points as my guide to where that was before. Okay, once that's lined up, I'm going to line up that squeeze. Now this part is important, making sure that you're keeping your hands pressed into this so as to not lose any of that hold Okay, let's make sure I got that square in there. So you want to hold that tight and just start that press back in, keeping the space from creating, so keeping any space from being created in there as you're getting this back into its home. Okay, just doing little by little on each side to make sure that that's going to stay as balanced as possible in the original holes and the original grooves. And of course, by now you can guess, once we get these all the way down, keeping all of the space out from creating in here, okay? We're gonna pull that all the way down, okay? Once I got it a little tight, set this down and set this in. Kind of just use a little bit of extra force here just to make sure that we get that all the way home. I think I'm going to switch that back to the socket wrench here. Turn that. Down and getting that all the way snug. Now those don't just stay flush. You want to make sure that those get into the wood as they were on the original settings. Okay, a lot of turning, a lot of working. Okay, that feels like it's all the way down. All the way down. Nice little workout for your arm. Let's get that turned. Okay, let's get that on a little bit further. And of course it's flush now, but I'm gonna make sure that I go back and give it a few more turns to get it all the way down. Okay, got those good and tight. And then make sure to put your stickies back on over the two furthest. We got that. And lifting that back up. Look at that. We've got two new springs. No compromise in their structure, okay? And we're back and able to use our exo chair safely, trusting that. Let me give you one reason why. Trusting that this will not happen again to any of our equipment. Very critical to not mess up the structure of that circles, okay? I hope this video helps a few out there, a lot out there, in terms of keeping your machines functioning and being able to work with your clients safely. All right, thanks.